blame the victim kind of guy, I guess. You're saying that, it's Major's fault.
You're throwing me under the bus. Come on, man. What are you doing? Trying to get me out of here.
Nah, man, you're saying that it's.
100% of the channel is going to you, I guess.
I mean,
Right?
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get that Jabari treatment.
Yeah.
You checked the verdict. What can you tell me about it? Your thoughts?
Yeah, so basically, Jonathan Majors has been found guilty on 2 counts of harassment and assault against his ex girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Um, Basically, these are third degree, so which is basically involuntary assault. Um, which means that your to describe it more accurately, it's basically the fact that he hit her, one can say by mistake. It's basically reckless infliction of fear of serious bodily injury or recklessly causing a fear of injury through the use of the deadly weapon. That's third degree assault. So basically, it's basically acting reckless, moving your hands around
Yeah,
and recklessly hitting her in the face or whatever happened.
yeah. Well, it seems as though because the verdict was a split verdict, 2 counts. They found him guilty on 2 counts, and as you said, it seemed as though it was not. They thought that he didn't meant to do her harm, if you
Yeah,
can say it like that,
yeah.
but nonetheless, he did do her harm. I was shocked about it because if you take into account the fact that they were there was video evidence showing that Majors was running. There was a driver who commented. There was if you read the statement of the AD, Alvin Bragg, I'm sorry, the DA, the district attorney, Alvin Bragg,
Mhm.
he stated in his communication after the verdict was announced that there was a pattern of abuse, but according to people who were in the who were sitting there at the moment during the trial, there was no pattern of abuse. So it seems as though it didn't exist. But if you take into account the videos that were showing how Jabbar was walking, going through the club after the fact, so after the supposed uh, damage was done to her fingers, and she was just walking and then going clubbing, it's it's a verdict. So that means there was a jury, a 6-person jury, 3 men, 3 women, 2 alternates, only one black woman, as I understood, for about 55.
I thought it's a jury of your own peers, but okay.
Well,
I guess I guess Jonathan isn't he identifies as anyway. Let's continue.
they took the peers of the victim, maybe the alleged victim. I don't know how. I don't know what happened or why it happened, but I mean, this is what
This a
this is
fact now.
this is the result.
It's a result, yeah. It's a
And
result of acting foolishly how we did, but
yeah, we'll talk about that in a while, about acting foolishly. But the guilty verdict, I think, still took a lot of people
by
by
surprise.
surprise,
Yeah, I think it
especially
did.
especially considering that she, and with she I mean Jabari, was also involved in, or basically was also hitting him, and they even arrested her at some point. So
Well,
they
they,
chose.
they 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 charged her. They didn't arrest her because she wasn't in the U.S. If I remember correctly.
Well, I'm gonna check that out. I thought they also arrested her, but if they charge her still after the fact, that means that after they detained Majors, let him go, and they were conducting the investigation. After all that, they still charged her. and
Yeah,
then trial.
they charged her basically 1 month before the trial would start, something like
Yeah,
that, and that's about 5 months after the arrest of 5 months or so since
yeah,
the arrest of Jonathan, and right away the DA said we're not gonna pursue any case against her. So
yeah. Well,
they're
I see that
pretty sure that
I see that she was arrested in October.
she was
So
arrested. Okay.
she was arrested as well. Yeah. So it wasn't just a charge; it was an arrest as well. So but yeah, a guilty verdict. Again, this is a verdict, not the decision by the court. And this was, of course, a criminal case. Um,
Yeah,
I,
one thing I want to say though, because this is the thing, right? People are saying guilty verdict. There's a big difference between the guilty verdict as a first degree versus a third degree one, right?
well,
It's a
not for Marvel.
very big. Not from Marvel. You know, Marvel they don't call it MCU mere. They call it MCU. But okay. I mean that's how critics are calling it these days. And
Yeah, I didn't know that.
MCU, yes, they call it MCU because of the high amount of female characters that get a focus. Maybe the new car will be a female. If I would guess how they are tanking all their films and series, it's probably kind of gonna be a female.
Kanina.
Who- Huh?
Kanina.
No, Khan. It's a female version. Oh man,
I'm willing to bet it as well.
I'm not a betting man, but I would say chances are pretty high if you look at where it's going.
Yeah.
They've been tanking all their. I don't know how what Disney is doing, by the way.
Yeah.
Really,
Well, we'll talk about this in a while, but uh, as it relates to the prosecutor, because I went and see, because of course people were saying that a race was also involved. Uh,
a race.
yeah, because a lot of people were. I mean, a lot of people, both from the prosecutor side, so maybe not the office of the DA in question, but
Mm.
people who work for prosecutors, maybe in other states, but also lawyers, they were all saying it's very uncommon for a case like this to go to trial, to even go to trial. And I went and looked because people were saying, there might be race involved. So I went and checked who the district attorney is that was in charge. His name is Alvin Bragg, and he's also an African American. Bragg with
You
two.
sure it's Alvin?
Yep,
I
because he's
saw a female name as a DA.
Alvin Bragg was mentioned as the DA. He was the one who had the case. He's and some people are saying that he's doing this for political reason, or at least he prosecuted majors for political reasons, whatever that may be. But he's also a black man. Um, I guess. I
Well,
mean,
usually what they say is it's not they are just part of a white system. That's how they
yeah,
claim it to be,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
he's just a tool in a bigger scheme, like
yeah.
leaving the world. What's the series? What's the movie?
Leave the world behind.
Yeah, it's basically the bigger tool.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe that's the case, but still, you mean he didn't charge or he didn't prosecute Jabari at all, only majors.
That would
And
be in his case, right? If he
if you
would be.
look at his campaign, he was running. He was running on, let's say, the more addressing the more hard crimes. So crimes involving firearms, more heavy crimes. So it's very weird that he would do this. To even again to even prosecute majors in the first place. It seems, I don't think it's race. I think it's more opportunity for promotion, or something like that. Because of course we're going to talk about the details in a bit. We're going to talk about, because they were alleging that majors has a violent nature, that there was manipulation from the start, all those things they were saying. But I mean,
All those things we talked about yesterday. That's crazy, right?
yeah,
We
we did
talked
talk
about
about
it
it.
before we basically explained what happened. But yes, we're gonna do rerun on that, and basically we can compare what we said before with that. It's
Yeah.
crazy though. I have to think if you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah, but the last thing I want to say about Alvin Bragg, and then we can proceed to the other thing, that to the other topics or other aspects of the case, is that it seems as though the case was purely based on a belief all women on a
Oh,
belief all women ground,
yep.
and it's clear that the prosecutor was biased because they chose one. If they were fair, I mean, if two people fight, let's say if two people fight, two people throw punches, right? In this case, we have videos showing that Jabari was harassing him. She was running. She was pursuing him. She was the one who didn't want to let him go. So if you're going to prosecute majors in this case, you should prosecute the lady as well and let them both be punished. But now, what this creates is uncertainty and skepticism in the public's eye. I mean, for men, right? You're always saying, KR, and I think this is one of your points. You're saying, I mean, you're a blame the victim kind of guy, I guess. You're saying that, it's majors' fault.
You're throwing me under the bus. Come on, man. What are you doing? Trying to get me out of here.
No, man, you're saying that it's
100% of the channel is going to you, I guess.
I mean,
Right?
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get that Jabari treatment. Let,
Not Jabari. What's the guy who Brandon Marshall kind of situation?
yeah, yeah.